This is part of our Holy Week journey, a quiet walk through the final days of Jesus. This is Holy Tuesday, words that could not be avoided. By now, Jesus had established a rhythm. Every morning he returned to the temple, and every morning the crowds were already there, waiting. You could feel the tension in the air, a mix of faces in the sunlight. Some were there because they truly believed. Others were just curious, drawn by the stories they'd heard. But tucked within the crowd were those with a different purpose. They were watching his every move, listening for a single slip-up, waiting for something they could finally use against him. As he was teaching, the religious leaders stepped forward. They didn't waste time with small talk. They went straight for the heart of the matter, asking loudly so everyone could hear. "Tell us, by what authority are you doing these things? Who gave you this right?" It wasn't just a question. It was a public challenge, a trap set in the middle of the temple courts. Jesus didn't dodge them. Instead, he led them deeper. He began to tell a story, a parable about a vineyard. He spoke of servants who were sent and rejected, and finally of a son, dearly loved by his father, yet cast aside by those who were supposed to care for the land. The leaders knew exactly what he was saying, and they didn't just dislike it, they were stung by it. So they tried again. More questions followed, sharper, more calculated. "Is it right for us to pay taxes to Caesar or not?" It was a brilliant move, a no-win situation designed to catch him in his own words. But Jesus answered with a clarity that left no room for an argument. "Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give to God the things that belong to God." One by one, the questions were leveled at him, and one by one, they simply fell away. Not because he forced them into silence, but because truth has a way of standing on its own. It doesn't need to shout to be heard. And still the people stayed. Luke tells us they were hanging on his every word. They couldn't pull themselves away. But beneath the surface, the atmosphere was shifting. Not everyone was willing to hear what he had to say. While some were leaning in, others were already looking for a way out, or perhaps a way to be rid of him entirely. This day wasn't loud or chaotic like the day before, but it was just as important. Jesus spoke plainly. He didn't pull back or hide the truth to make it easier to swallow. He wasn't trying to win a debate. He was revealing the heart of God. As Holy Week continues, the line between following him and resisting him starts to thin. The path ahead is becoming harder to ignore, for them and for us. This story comes from the Gospel of Luke, a careful account of the final days of Jesus. These moments weren't written to stay on a page, but to be felt, understood, and carried with us through the day. If this journey through Holy Week has been meaningful to you, we invite you to like and subscribe, and keep walking with us through the stories of Scripture with The Cardinal and Dove. We're so glad you're here.